Okay, so I quit my first tracking job in Sweden within 24 hours. And if you're a new CDL driver, this could happen to you. So stick around and I'll tell you exactly what happened. So when I was done with my tracking license, I had high expectations. I was like, okay, now I'm job ready. I went to school, I put all the energy and all the hard work. So now I'm ready to go out, make the money and have a better life. What I didn't know was that what type of tracking I was gonna do. Now this is where it gets interesting. So I had a friend of mine who was already tracking at that time, and he told me about a garbage collector. And he was telling me these guys make good money and it's always easy to get into the garbage collection business. I was like, okay, cool, sounds good. What he didn't tell me was the pros and cons of being a garbage collector. Now this is where it gets interesting. So listen up. So this is what happens. My first day, I apply definitely. I get the job. It was a quick one. I apply, get to work the first day. I didn't have a lot of knowledge about what should I have, the gloves, the gear, and everything. So I get everything on my first day. But what really surprises me the most is that when I asked the guy I was driving with, because you're always two in the truck, I asked him, okay, how many stops do we have? He said 500. I was like, 500 what? He was like, 500 stops. I was like, okay, so we have to stop 500 times to pick trash cans? I was like, yep. I was like, okay. But then I was like, okay, first day, let's go. Yeah, I got this. So we go out, we start working. Remember, we started at 4 a.m. Started working. And fast forward, we stopped working at 8 p.m. All right. But now, let me take you back, roll you back a little bit. So during everything, packing the trash, jumping in and out, because as a garbage collector, you have to be ready to jump in and out of the truck. Okay, 500 times. So it was my first day. I didn't get to drive. I was the one who was jumping out, get the trash can on, jump in. That was really tiresome. I don't think I'll do that ever again. But also something that really happened on that day that was interesting was that because in Sweden it was the start of the winter. If you know about Swedish weather, it's really bad when it starts snowing. And that day it was snowing and it was raining. Third of all, we were in the countryside. So it was muddy at the same time. This is what happened. We got stuck. So we got stuck because it was muddy, it was raining, it was snowing. And we were there for a good 1 hour trying to move the truck, trying to get the shovel, get the stones, do all sorts of things to get the truck moving. Remember, this is my first day at working. So you can already imagine what kind of trauma was going through my mind. This is not what I really signed up for. Like when I took my license, I didn't know this is what I was going to be working with. This is what tracking is. But fast forward. So the day ends, we get back to the office, we hand in everything around 8 p.m. So I go back to home to my friend and he's like, how was your first day at work? I'm like, I quit. He was like, what do you mean you quit? I was like, yeah, I'm not going back. I was like, why? I explained to him everything that happened at the work and I told him, no, when I was getting my license, I didn't sign up for this. I didn't want to be doing all this. My idea of tracking was be in your truck, drive, deliver, go home. Simple. No garbage collection. So the thing is, the next day I wrote to the boss and I was like, I'm not coming back. This is not for me. And I quit. Within 1 day, I was done. But now, this goes out to all new CDL drivers and everyone who, thinks about tracking. Number one, before you get into tracking, you need to know exactly what you want to work with. Do you want to work with garbage collection? Do you want to work with the long haul, like driving long distance? Do you want to work with distribution? Do you want to work with these guys who drive, timber, when they cut timber, and then those guys who, carry it? Do you want to work with cement? These guys who mix cement. There's so many different tracking, parts of tracking that you can work with. So before you even start your tracking journey, find out what you want to work with. And then even when you're done with your license, before you start working, find about the pros and cons and everything. Okay. But also a reminder, Just because your first job you didn't do well, or it was like mine, you don't have to quit. There's so many different tracking businesses you can get into, and the moment you find your the tracking business of your interests, you stay there. Okay, but you need to take your time. All right. So, but anyway, so there you are. That is why I quit my job within 24 hours. It wasn't for me. It wasn't something that I find really interesting to do. But I salute to all garbage collectors out there. You guys are doing a really good job. And well, no wonder you get a lot of money. But anyway, if you really like the content that I'm making, I'm going to be making a video talking about how I pass my air brakes and my skills test at the American CDL when I was CDL license at the DMV. So stick around and check out the channel. I'll be putting up that video very soon. Okay, and don't forget, ride like a big shot. And by the way, drop a comment if you find this interesting, or you have any question or anything about tracking. I'll be ready to answer everything. Okay, all right, I'm out.